Hello, I'm John Illingsworth. I've lived in Pittwater for all of my 69 years. I was born here. I will remember being part of Warringah and how unsatisfactory that was. I think there's been a flowering of community spirit in Pittwater since it was formed in 1992, and that in recent years this has become more like a blossoming. Until that is, the threat of forced amalgamation, the reversal of Pittwater secession, became an issue. A little over a year ago, at a function I attended at Bayview Golf Club, Minister Rob Stokes drew me aside and confidingly told me, "John, I want you to know there'll be no forced amalgamations." I immediately told this to many other people because I took it as gospel. But at a public meeting at Monavale RSL in May 2015, Minister Stokes was somewhat more equivocal. Here he is.
I didn't become member for Pittwater in order to preside over the dismemberment of Pittwater Council.
Following this, I realised that something might have been amiss and that perhaps I'd been deliberately misled. Here is the Pittwater Council webpage reporting on the meeting. Note that residents were unanimous in their voice for no change. And here is Robert Dunn, Pittwater's first elected mayor, at that meeting.
And what they really want to say to us is we haven't got time for the niceties of individuals. I thought, once upon a time I was in the Liberal Party, I thought that they looked after liberty of the individual and that sort of thing, and they looked after communities and they looked after environment. But we are going to see a situation where everything individual, everything that's beautiful, if you put it bluntly, probably small local government, somebody said, is going to be sacrificed at the altar of corporate progress in New South Wales. We're going to be left with the mess that has been made by this pathetic ad hoc approach. That is, economic rationalism let wild eventually becomes ultimate high-rise and the destruction of areas because we can't stand in the way.
The tragedy of this whole amalgamation situation is it's set to result in the destruction of Pittwater, and that's the Pittwater that was created less than 25 years ago by pioneers who wanted to protect what we've always had here. The whole process has been based on deceit, a snowball of deceit that just continues to gather more deceit as it rolls on. It started with the deceit of the Minister and Cabinet on no forced amalgamations as the platform for the prior election.
Well, whatever happened to no forced amalgamation? The words that were spoken right at the beginning.
The deceit of Rob Stokes when he positioned this whole amalgamation process as an opportunity for minor boundary changes. The deceit of the council and the mayor in commissioning a report on a greater Pittwater model that had had no input from the community whatsoever.
The relationship between the council and the residents groups has been totally dysfunctional. And that unlike other councils that we've seen, we've had no support and no intervention in what is essentially a political process.
The deceit of Stokes, the council and the mayor in Stokes' briefing on a greater Pittwater concept immediately prior to the public meeting and telling the community representatives that the only position he could defend to Parliament was the greater Pittwater concept.
So the whole process is about money and local government is about people.
And the deceit of council when they organised at short notice 400 members of the community to come to the Bayside Reserve and form a gigantic no. Everyone I spoke to on that day and to whom I've spoken since all thought we were going there to support no amalgamation, no change to Pittwater. But the council used that as a platform for no single Northern Beaches council, but to support their greater Pittwater concept. Where will the deceit end? Warringah residents, who will outnumber Pittwater residents in any greater Pittwater council area, are already saying daily in the Manly Daily that they will push for a single Northern Beaches council because they'll have the majority vote. Greater Pittwater is the great con job. No matter how they try to sugarcoat it, what is proposed will be created will be North Warringah. It will have very little to do with the Pittwater as we know it today. The area of North Warringah will be 2¼ times the size of the Pittwater we know today. The geographic centre will be in the southern part of Ingleside, further south than our further southern boundary at present. The population of this new council area will be 2½ times that of our Pittwater today. The population centre will be further south and will start to move further west as the new French's Forest development accelerates to support the hospital that will be completed there in 2018. In fact, North Warringah will only be 20% less than the total of Warringah prior to Pittwater breaking away for it less than 25 years ago. And as was the case then, what we know as Pittwater now will have such a minority representation in that council, it will not be able to achieve anything that it wants for Pittwater because it will be outvoted by the interests further south. All the amalgamation arguments are based on deceit. All the arguments which convinced a Boundaries Commission to create Pittwater less than 25 years ago still apply. So please, if you believe in the Pittwater that we have and you wish to see it continue, do something, say something, put in a submission to the government, because they say if they don't hear from the community, they have the community's approval. This is close to our last stand to defend the Pittwater we know and love. Please get involved before it's too late.